Hey, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Andrew Legend here today for brand new video on Wizard101, and today I'm giving you guys a PvP deck setup for balanced PvP, and this is going to be a tournament PvP deck setup. This setup is called the Vigor approach, and I'm going to tell you why it's called the Vigor approach. So I'm going to show you my spell deck. Don't worry about the stats, because I just put on some crazy gear and shit. Okay guys, so what you want to use 3 tower shields. You don't really need all them tower shields in there because you have in the side deck if you know how to use your cards wisely for tower shields. If you're not too much of a punk to just take a couple of hits and then they won't expect you to do like tower shield and stuff like that. So you guys already know, add colossals, add a couple of gargantuans in, and I use infallible because I face a lot of balances in PvP, and I've experienced that they don't use supernova, and lots of other people. I prefer you guys to use shadow strike, but that's just my opinion because I face a lot of balances and they don't use supernovas, so I was just like, okay, I don't have to struggle and try to struggle and get a shadow pip while I can just hurry and get into pierce mode and just destroy stuff. So that's why I use infallible, because I really do face a lot of balances in PvP. And the feint, we'll worry about the feint later at the end of the video. Okay, so you want to add 2 of these. You can add 3 if you want. I usually add 2 in because if your second turn and you can't find anything, just use that, because it can deflect your opponent's like cards and stuff. If they're about to like hit you or something and they get into a point to hit or something, you can just use Black Mantle, and then it'll mess them up. It'll mess their whole move set up, and then you'll have a couple chances to hit them or whatever you want to do. So moving over here, these are all hit cards. All in this area is is just damaging, and just you want to keep pressuring your opponent with small hit cards that's doing at least 800 damage and like 1000 damage. So you want to add 4 of these in, because why not? It's Gaze of Fate. You're gonna hit your target with this Gaze of Fate. You can also use it for a combo hit for I call it the Lore Gaze, or the Gaze of Lore. So I usually use these, or the Paw Lore, or you can do the Paw Gaze, or the Gaze of Paw. So you could do Savage Paw, that you can get the blade, and then you can combo it with the blade with the Gaze of Fate. It's pretty cool, huh? So yeah, so moving on to Mana Burn. I only use 3 because it's a classic 1v1, and it's a tournament, so they're gonna pressure you. So you don't really need to use that many mana burns, because they're gonna use the pips. They're gonna keep spamming you, right? But if they can't find a card, hit them with that. I add 1 reshuffle just in case if I don't get no jade, no stupid jade or anything. If I'm trying my balls off to kill the jade, or to kill somebody that's very annoying, they just prolonging the match or something, I'll just get a second chance and then I'll just wait it out. Okay, so once again, this is all connected with the strategy, and like you can do Savage Lore, Lore Paw. Those are just strategies that you can use. Okay, so here you have 5 scorpions. You want to put 5 scorpions in because you got these to back it up, and then the damage will go and penetrate your opponent through pierce, and then when you're piercing him, it'll do extra more damage. So that's basically like 900. That's basically like 1,000 around that you're hitting your opponent. So that's pretty good to keep. And rarely that I said balance PvPers and tournaments that don't use Supernova, but I use Supernova. And because I use Supernova, balance people, you know, like, they don't really use like Shadow Strike. And when I say Shadow Strike, I mean like they really don't use it. Like, it's either they use something like Conviction or the Balance Aura or something like that. And even for other schools, like if they use like Storm Aura or, you know, like stuff like that, if they're going for big damage and not thinking about, you know, like resistance stuff. So once again, this is an aggression for, like, you know, tournaments. You want to hit your target as much as possible. I used to keep a lot of these in, but I don't. I'm not that much of a punk on balance. I use 2 of them just in case if someone is, you know, being a dispel head. I just use that at a rare time when they really don't need to use unbalance, and then they want to use it when it's the last minute. So on here I have 8 of these weaknesses, 8 weaknesses. I use these if I'm second turn. I can just spam these and I can debuff my target's damage, and I can do damage while I'm pressuring him from second turn. So I think that's pretty good. Now this is when the cool part comes in. Okay, so here, remember I told you don't need that many tower shields because you can find your tower shields right here easily. And then this also has a little prediction strategy in here also. And knowing how the crit system is, you can use a high crit pet, or you can use a high block definition pet. Universe, well, I usually use the ring, and then I'll just use like a critical pet or something. But I use a block pet, 500 critical block rating. It's pretty good. Okay, so you want to use these pierces because, you know, you get a lot of people, they see balance, they want to tower shit as much as they can because, you know, sometimes balance have a tough time breaking through shields and stuff like that. So you want to surprise them with this. So if you have a very good prediction skill like I do, you can use these. And if your first turn or something and you're feeling lucky, if you got a good hand, you can use the combo I showed you. You can use Empower to prepare your attack and, you know, hurry up and kill your opponent if they don't know what's hitting him. And then you can use these if someone is like using like if your second turn, you can use these. If you think they're gonna dispel you or something, you can just use those. And then when I told you I was gonna tell you this right here, okay? So the reason why I got these 2 in, these 2 bad boys right here, is because this is gonna be your final hit, like a last resort hit. When you use that, it'll also pressure your opponent. Say if his health is at like 4k, right? And then you keep using Scorpion, and then you'll use like Empower or something, and you have like full pips, and then you keep spamming it. If you do these like two times, like 2 good times, and you do like some good damage off, like 1,000, and then if they do something that's very stupid, you can just use Feint, and then if they shield or something, you can Infallible, and then bam, you can hit them like with 2k or something like that. If you critical on them, luckily, and if you don't critical on them, that's okay. That's still doing like at least let's say let's say 1,000 damage, like 1,500 damage. So yeah, I really do hope this deck setup works, guys. If you really like this video, please leave a like and subscribe and share it to your friends if you haven't already. And I really do hope this deck setup is going to work for you, and I really do hope you use my deck setup. So I'll see you guys in the next video, and peace out.